Hi, welcome to another episode of Nutritious Entrees with Peter, and that's me. Today we're talking about nuts, in particular activating your nuts. In this glass in front of me are some almonds that have been soaked overnight in water, which has stimulated the germination process, whereby the theory is that the phytic acid or the phytates which hold the nutrients together have reduced and allowed the nutrients, particularly minerals, to be released into their system and more accessible for us when we eat those nuts. That's the theory. So there hasn't been much evidence behind that, but recently there's been 2 studies to look into those very questions, and today I'll run through those briefly. If you want more information on those studies, just let me know and I can forward them on to you. So the first study was looking at the gut's tolerance of the nuts, whether they were raw or soaked. The study showed that there was no statistical difference between eating raw nuts or soaked nuts on the body's ability to tolerate those foods. The second study, which was significantly more important, was looking at the bioavailability of the nutrients. So they looked at the phytic acid concentration and also the mineral content of the nuts. So they compared raw nuts and soaked nuts, whether they were soaked in brine or water, and either at 12 hours or for a 24-hour soak. So the results from that study showed that there was no significant difference between the phytic acids or the mineral content of either form of nuts, whether they were raw or soaked. They did also show that there was a reduction in the mineral content in the soaked nuts. So even though the phytic acid may have reduced a little bit, there wasn't enough reduction to show a significant difference because the ratio of the phytic acid and the mineral content was the same, because they leached out some minerals in the fluid. So the take-home message is raw nuts are not inferior in their nutritional profile to soaked nuts. Don't feel pressure that you need to eat soaked nuts to get a more nutritious food. The studies are showing that that's not true. The other thing is, I probably would be reluctant to eating one of these, because now that the germination process has started, there is a higher risk of contamination and mold growth. And spending 6 hours in a dehydrator to get the same texture again is quite an arduous process. So personally, I'd be more inclined to just eat my raw nuts, and a healthy handful every day is highly recommended for a lot of benefits. And that's it.